we can see if we try to hit the profile page, it redirects us to the login. So anytime we click on one of the pages, it automatically takes us to the login if we're not authenticated. So now we can try logging in with an account, but with the wrong password. And this shows up, so it's actually checking. Now we use the correct credentials, and it redirects us to the profile. And now if we try to go back to the login page, it doesn't let us and redirects us back to the profile. So we can see here our timeline. So there's currently a lot of items in there, and we can also see all our past orders, and we can also see our names being displayed dynamically. So we can see the order ID, we can see the total of that order, and we can see all the contents in the order. So other than that, we have the cart page. Currently we have 8 items in our cart. We can add some more. So for instance, we can go to the home page and we can add some of these Blastoise. We're going to add 15. So it says added to cart. We go back to the cart, and now we see them here at the bottom, which is great. And we see the subtotal, the tax, and the total being calculated, and we can now place the order. If we click on place order, it takes us back to the profile page where we can see the new order. Here it is, order number 7. We just did this order, and here we have the Blastoise that we added. And that's great. Now let's take a look at the timeline. So if we go to the search page and we try to search for Pikachu, we click name, it shows up. We can also add him to the cart if we want, and we can see the new entry in the timeline. And if we go back to the profile, he's right there at the bottom, so that's also working just fine. Okay, now we can also try logging in with a different user. So I'm going to open a private window, and we can go back to the localhost. Takes us immediately to the login page, and why don't we try registering an account? So let's call this account 123 register. So it says account created. Now we can log in using those credentials. We click login, and we notice that there's nothing in except the name of the account. And that's okay because we don't have anything right now. So we can go and search. And what if we search for a bug type Pokemon? So we click on type, and now we find the new query over here, and we can add these to our cart. So I'm going to add 10 Beedrills, and I'm going to add 3 Caterpies. And now if we go to the cart, we see the 2 items and no past orders because it's a new account. So now we can place the order. Takes us back to the profile, and now we see the query in our timeline, so that's working perfectly. And we can also see the last order that we just did. And if we go back to the cart, we see that the cart is empty, and that makes sense because we did an order, right? And if we try to go back to the login, it redirects us to the profile. And now if we go back to the original account, we can see that our cart is just fine, and we don't have any other orders, so these orders belong to this account, and everything is working as intended. And finally, we have a custom font. So we are using Montserrat font for all the headers, and we are also using Roboto font for all of the paragraphs. And that's about it. We can also see actually the grid. So we can see this is responsive. All of the orders are responsive. We can also go back to the home page and see that we can see random Pokemon, and all of these are responsive as well.